Hey everyone, nice to meet you. Also, I'm really pleased to moderate this session about innovation. So with Marion Caillol from ARCORA, Antoine Dugué from NOBATEK, and Hugo Guyomard from COVERIS. So my first question will go to Antoine. From your point of view, what are the main challenges for innovation, and if you can present your activities?
So I'm Antoine Dugué. Sorry for my voice. I will inflict to you the bare minimum. So I work in NOBATEK. We are a French research technical organization, and we do work with SMEs. We work on the built environment topic, especially on energy and sustainability. And here what I can mention is that, as I guess you're all familiar with, if we look at the built environment, the AEC sector, it's mainly composed of SMEs. Obviously, not only it's a choice to focus on them. It's like the workforce, but also the economic output of it is more than 90%. More than 90% of it rely on SMEs. And those SMEs are also characterized by very low digitalization. They have low capacity to invest, either in training, through expenses, buying those software, those tools, those competencies. Okay, so that's some of the characteristics. Another one is that this very sector is one with the lowest R&D investment if you compare to all the other sectors, even agricultural sector and so on. This ranks below it. But what we can mention is that there is a lot for them to do innovation. It requires a lot of efforts, okay, time-wise, money-wise, to do it. But, if there is a but, there are lots of opportunities and lots of activities in relation to innovation by those SMEs, but by the whole sector. Obviously, you can think about all those new materials, all the aspect on existing materials or new materials, but through circularity, through optimization of their characteristics, the 3D printing, bio-based, geo-sourced materials offer new opportunities. Okay, here we are looking rather at the envelope, the facade, the expression, the architectural expression of buildings. Those can be dynamic. We are shifting from, let's say, concrete, brick, windows, to more dynamic solutions. Such solutions that will take advantage of solar gains, that will take advantage of potential natural ventilation, and are absolutely well fit for the climate change. So what they need, let's say, why there are so many ideas, so many opportunities, how can we improve that? How can we assist those SMEs, those companies, into delivering solutions that are ready for the market? So what they need is to, but first, one of the aspects I didn't mention earlier is like the regulation framework. At least how it is perceived is that it's complex. It changes, it varies from countries. There is revision. I mean, Alain just presented some new directives, and actually those participate in the alignment, in the homogeneous and homogenization of regulation across Europe. So that's a good thing. They also obviously always are looking for funding, and there are funding opportunities. We are here in European funded projects. We have been working on that. We have been working through cascade funding on other projects. So this is something we have to take into account. And last but not least, for all those products at a certain time, you need to characterize them, you need to test them. So you need to bring those from the industry, from laboratory to the real situation. So there is the need for those capacities. It can be on real buildings. And so there is a need for to guide, to assist for that. And that was my take on that.
Okay. Thank you, Antoine, for this. Marion, so from what we heard from Antoine, Can you present your activity and as a consulting engineering company, how do you work with SMEs and others, and how do you integrate innovation in your activities?
So, hello everyone. ARCORA is an engineering company that brings together architects, engineers to design complex facades that combine performance, aesthetic, and innovation. Next year, we will be celebrating our 50th anniversary, 50 years of designing complex projects. Our headquarters are in France, but we have offices in Luxembourg, and since October, we have offices in Brussels. Over the last 5 decades, we have completed more than 6,000 projects worldwide. This includes the recent rehabilitation of an Oscar Niemeyer building in Paris, the statue for Xavier Niels, and the Geneva Airport Station. And recently, we also have the ArcelorMittal headquarters in Luxembourg. We have recently developed a dedicated division for diagnostic, rehabilitation, and historic building projects, as there is a growing demand for rehabilitation in facades. And to go even further, we have created the lab, an internal unit dedicated to R&D, where we explore new ideas such as integrating living in system facades, studying fire safety in vegetated facade, and also the reuse of thin stones.
Yes. What for you are the limits of innovation?
There are several barriers, but I will limit to 2 main ones. The first is financial. The research tax credit already provides real support, but more generous project management fees would be very welcome, which remains very difficult in the context of austerity. The second concerns risk. Insurance represents a significant limitation for ATEX coverage and can hinder experimentation. Simplification does not mean deregulation, but greater agility should be allowed for more innovation and growth. I will conclude that don't be afraid to try things out and just go for it.
So now, Hugo, so you are an SME, and so how you integrate innovation, and see if you can present your activity and how you integrate innovation in your activities.
Sure, I will try to. Hello everyone, so I'm Hugo Guyomard from COVERIS. In a few words, what is COVERIS company? COVERIS is a glazing facade company located in Bordeaux in France. We are an SME with 70 employees, around 70. And we are doing some projects everywhere in France with a complex structure mainly, because we are a design company with a construction team. We are not manufacturers, so we can realize some projects with different type of materials, such as aluminum, timber, or even steel. And our activity is mainly based on new buildings with most of the time, I would say at least one per year, an ATEX inside these projects. But nowadays we are trying to develop the renovation activity of the company, and this kind of development of the activity is going through the development of solutions adapted to the construction sector, such as, for example, the double skin facade, which is my topic, my main topic of work at COVERIS. Double skin facade, in a few words, is a dynamic facade which can be adapted to the weather of the building, which can benefit from the greenhouse effects in winter and can be open in summer in order to ventilate the space. We can also integrate some different kind of systems, such as vents or even sunshades. Sorry, and you can also ventilate the facade with different type of flux management, as you can see on the slides. And COVERIS wanted to develop the double skin facade adapted to the renovation, but in order to do this, we need to assess the performance of the solution from an energy part and regarding the energy consumption reduction. Because of it, and thanks to it, we done some demonstrator in order to assess the performance. Thanks to the OITB, we made the construction and at the COVERIS headquarters, which is a double skin facade with some sensors that we have implemented in it, and we also developed with a partnership with NOBATEK and also another company called Genatis. We developed a digital platform on which we can collect the data of the double skin facade and also define the control law of it in order to measure the performance and also to assess the energy reduction that the double skin facade can provide to the building. Thanks to this demonstrator, we had the opportunity to develop the double skin facade, and in this specific case for the innovation, there was no need for test or certification because the double skin facade itself is a traditional way to construct the facade, but the performance of it can be harder to assess. And from Metabuilding, we had some helps, as I said, with NOBATEK, and in order to establish a protocol for the experimental measurements, but also for the numerical modeling of the solution. Thanks to it, we are able now to optimize the design of it regarding the location of the building, but also the different constraints we can have on the building. Thanks to this demonstrator linked with the different partnerships, we can have now a solution which is market ready thanks to this, and we can assess the performance more easily to the different customers with this kind of project.
Yes, thank you. And Antoine, what are the key takeaways we could have from this session? And we coordinated a dossier with, and NOBATEK was one of the coordinators. So can you say one word about it?
So on this dossier, so led by Construction 21, so Paul, we assembled a series of testimonies, a series of texts, but also nice pictures on the topic of facade. Okay, so that's what are the trends, what are the challenges, what are opportunities on this very topic. It's obviously free to download, it's in French, and most importantly here, it's in English. And so we do hope that you can find something interesting having a quick look at that. There are some few examples of printed ones over there on the table. I think
there will be 80 copies.
So have a look, and then as a conclusion and the transition for the follow-up. So we add an overview from the very, let's say, a European directive by Alain, explaining how what are we acting upon that for the 2030 and horizon. We know that there is quite a dynamic sector for the built environment, for the EEC sector, and there are still some challenges, barriers, and those mainly revolve around the capacity to develop new products, to develop new processes. And for that to be eased, we need to work more collaboratively across the different countries, across the different fields of expertise, and look directly into the market to push those solutions.
Yeah, and maybe a last word for Marion, as you were one of the editor-in-chief too of this dossier. What, from your point of view, what was really interesting in this process and in this dossier?
What was interesting is that we have seen many initiatives from all over the world, and what is interesting as well is that they are not communicating between them every time, and it's, that could be interesting to have more communication between all the initiatives, which are very interesting. It's, there are already collaboration, but there could be more. And the point is, we also have seen that innovation is not necessarily something never seen before, or high-tech technology is, sometimes it's, so according to INSEE, innovation means introducing a new or significantly improved product or process. And when I see the different articles, is more a multitude of initiatives. So I think the dossier today will be very interesting for all of us.
So thank you very much to all, and I think we can close this session.